year we don't rest. Anybody in here blessed? I'm blessed. Wake up early. He's got that flat cap dapper look. Flat cap pastor dashing through pages. Chronicles, Gospels, prophets, sages. Leviticus, laws to Paul's fine phrases. Turning them corners, your spiritual mazes. Genesis to Revelation, so divine. Flip them scripts, endless grace you'll find. Psalms singing sweet, unbroken lines. Hitting that rhythm, wordplay refined. Anybody in here blessed? I'm blessed. Anybody in here blessed? I'm blessed. Battling 1 year, we don't rest. Anybody in here blessed? I'm blessed. Wake up early, the dawn's light shimmers. Spiritual breakfast, soul food dinners. Isaiah's vision, Ezekiel's figures. Walk through the fire, no one limbers. Kings and judges, prophets profound. Plowing the word, no mythical ground. Verse after verse, wisdom's bound. Heavenly soundtrack, soul serving sound. Anybody in here blessed? I'm blessed. Anybody in here blessed? I'm blessed. Battling 1 year, we don't rest. Anybody in here blessed? I'm blessed. No shortcuts, all divine routes. Listen to the whispers, no room for doubt. Parables drop stronger than gold faucets. Souls hydrated from divine prophets. Study the book, change perspectives. Carefully crafted, not too subjective. A year to reflect, learning perfect. Patterns of grace that time can't deflect. Old Testament drops deep and so real. Kings and warriors, covenant seals. Split that Red Sea, divine reveal. Commandments written, not made of steel. Bethlehem birth to cross on the hill. Unfolding the nappy blessings, pastor with skill. Scripture flip, every verse fulfilled.
Through the word, every verse, every chapter, nothing unheard. Everybody in here blessed. I'm blessed. Everybody in here blessed. I'm blessed. Yo, online sermons, holy vibes delivered. Spreading light, got the sinners reconsidered. Psalm to psalm, man's like a holy DJ. Flipping through scripture, repping the Yahweh. Your emotes in the chat, praising the message. Flat cap on point, teaching eternal lessons. Everybody in here blessed. I'm blessed. Everybody in here blessed. I'm blessed. Digital pulpit, preaching like a pro. Followers grow as the faith overflow. Keyboard clicks, holy words they stick. Raining blessings down with a slick rhyme trick. Virtual congregation, united in devotion. 1 year strong, a spiritual promotion. He's a life coach with divine instructions. Streaming holiness, no room for interruption. Flat cap changed the game, new pastoral fame. Virtual shepherd, he's embracing the mainframe. In the comments, affirmatives and amens. With each Goliath tackled, faith extends. Everybody in here blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Everybody in here blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Yo, online sermons, holy vibes delivered. Spreading light, got the sinners reconsidered. Psalm to psalm, man's like a holy DJ. Flipping through scripture, repping the Yahweh. Your emotes in the chat, praising the message. Flat cap on point, teaching eternal lessons. Everybody in here blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Everybody in here blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Digital pulpit, preaching like a pro. Followers grow as the faith overflow. Keyboard clicks, holy words they stick. Raining blessings down with a slick rhyme trick. Virtual congregation, united in devotion. 1 year strong, a spiritual promotion. He's a life coach with divine instructions. Streaming holiness, no room for interruption. Flat cap changed the game, new pastoral fame. Virtual shepherd, he's embracing the mainframe. In the comments, affirmatives and amens. With each Goliath tackled, faith extends. Everybody in here blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. 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 Ancient old pulpit preaching like a pro. Followers grow as the faith overflow. Keyboard clicks, holy words they stick. Raining blessings down with a slick rhyme trick.
Welcome in, everybody! Welcome in! Hey. I got some new stickers. Look at that. Shout out to 16-Bit Believer. Got one of those. This I believe is from Checkpoint Church. I don't know. It's fun. I think I know who it is. I'm not sure. Don't want to embarrass myself and have it recorded for posterity's sake. So, got those on there. Where else? I've got Taco, I'm a content creator. I've got You Are Loved Just As You Are. Love that. And a new one for Nerch. Church for Nerds in Germany. They are here at the con. So oh my goodness, I'm just gonna do this. If you're not here, you need to be having some FOMO. You are missing out. Sorry, I used to think that was a really silly thing. FOMO? What do you mean fear of missing out? There's no fear. You're just missing out. Sorry. I'm up at 5:00 in Mountain Time Zone, so that I can be streaming with you who are in your regular time zones. So anyway, let me get caught up on chat. Galaxy, buddy, thanks for the alert. Appreciate you, friend. Usually you are first in line to hop into the chat and say, I'm here. I appreciate you, friend. I'm watching you people. Hey, how have you been, friend? We haven't done this in a while. I'm watching. We need to jump on a voice call. Yeah, and just chat. Disco Bear, Ukulele. Hey, heard you had some technical issues. So, down in my lower corner, I believe there's a Windows update down there, and I did not do it. I resisted. I didn't want to end up with the same problem. Oh, thank you for the cookies. We got some Florin Tinky. I don't know. That's it. Whatever. Yes, let us talk about it. Yes. People love the Taco Cat here, by the way. They do. You have all the FOMO. I can't spill the beans on that. But I think I showed this. I don't remember if you were here, Ukulele, when I showed the swag bag. There is the Taco swag bag, the little dragon backpack. Which is pretty fun. It's pretty fun. I mean, I'm not wearing it around all the time. Bootstraps, dude. Boots is here at the con. Subdue the Day is here at the con, and they're crazy enough to be up at 5:45 with me in the morning and say, yeah, let's do some Bible before we go and get all fed with speakers and conversations, all that stuff. Oh, it's so good. You have FOMO of grocery shopping. I love FOMO. I'm watching. Yeah. Hey, I haven't heard. I thought I saw something in Ukulele the other day about your chair, an update on that, but I missed the details. So if you want to update me on the status on your new chair, I'd love that. Papsio, if I didn't say hi, welcome in, friend. Good to have you here. As always, love it. Yeah, good. Glad my problem helped someone. Yeah. I was like, oh, wait, I have that. I'm not going to do that. I'm awake more like a zombie. Well, whether you're paying attention, active, or you're just like, I got up and I turned it on and I went back to sleep. All good, my friend. All good. All right. So, let's take a peek at where we have been. Oh, I got it. No surprise there. I don't know why it does. Maybe. Well, this is an in the works progress plan. Is to switch over from using slobs to using OBS. It's going to be a gradual shift. What I will do is I will shift over on the new computer to OBS. This one I'll leave on slobs, and then I'll slowly transition as I figure it out to the new computer for doing things. And then we'll be able to learn some new things, try some new things, but it won't be a quick let me do all this and then stuff doesn't work. So no new chair yet. Okay, maybe in 2025 or before Jesus returns. Oh no, it's 2025. 2025. That is when it needs to come, or for Christmas. Maybe you'll get your chair for Christmas. I got up this morning. I mean, I had quite a few tea bags with me, and I made my last bag of tea this morning. So hopefully that gets me through the morning, and then I will be, snagging some coffee at the con, and I'll have to wait until I get to the airport tomorrow morning to get something else. I won't be able to have something probably unless I grab some room coffee, which I guess I could do. All right, so let's see where we've been. So we are going to try and wrap up where we're at. So we're gonna hit Lamentations 5. So I'm just gonna cross that out, assuming that we are going to get that done. I'm gonna just cross it out. Then then what was on the schedule to finish October was beginning Hebrews. I don't want to start Hebrews and then have a bunch of break. So we're going to jump over and hit Joel here. Joel would have been on the schedule to begin November. So we're going to go over and hit Joel. And we're not going to start Ezekiel either today. So then what we will have is we will then be doing Hebrews and Ezekiel side by side for a while, starting next week potentially. So I again will be at a conference next week. So traveling tomorrow, no stream tomorrow. Will be streaming on Monday. Then I'll be headed to the conference. I'm not sure about streaming after that. I will be giving you an update on Monday of what the schedule will look like for when I get to the conference for next week. So, all right. I'm watching I Like Paul. I know how to deal with lack. Shrug. Well, being content is a great way to live. It truly is. Yeah, past you. Oh no, you need more tea. Someone ship tea stack. Appreciate you, friend. Appreciate you. Oh yeah, Temple Snail. I am on the road. I am in Colorado, Colorado Springs, Garden of the Gods, and I am at Nerd Culture Ministry Summit, and so I am two time zones earlier in the morning than normal for me. So went to bed close to midnight here and got up about 5 o'clock so I could stream and be with all of you people. Sorry, it's just fun to say you people, especially when I'm watching in the chat. So, boo on the travels. I know you're kidding. All right. Oh, we're staying in the Glen Erie Castle. Is where we are staying. Is the Glen Erie? Well, I'm not. Our conference is in the castle. I'm too cheap to stay in the castle. We're in the lodge. We're in one of the lodges. So, but it's beautiful here. What do you mean, you people? Those who are up at this time and watching me. That's all I mean. Those who are present. If you're not present, you're not you people. So, all right. You didn't stay. Yeah, I did stay in the castle. We're staying on the grounds of the castle, and there are 3 lodges that most of the people staying at the conference are at. You could have stayed in the castle. Now, on a plus side, didn't know this, but just being cheap, I didn't want to spend the extra money to stay in the castle. They're doing reno in the castle, so it might have actually been more hassle than it's worth to stay in the castle. But we're over there in the castle for the conference, for the morning sessions, and it's been fantastic. So, all right, enough about all of that. Unless you have questions, yeah. So some of what's cool about being here and doing that is thinking through and processing through. What does that mean? Yeah, more hassle in the castle. Exactly. Oh, I am going to. Oh. I'm not going to be totally out of tea. I'm actually going to. I'm going to call it high tea. I don't know if they call it high tea. I'm going to high tea in the castle today. I'm going to tea in the castle this afternoon. I'm going to go to tea time in the castle. I guess I will have more tea. I will. I didn't. I'll make it through the stream and I'll have it on the dock. I'm going to get some good tea. Oh, there's going to be some good tea. I'm going to have. I will. I'm watching. If I forget to post pics of that, remind me, and when I'm traveling tomorrow, I will try to remember to have taken a picture of tea time, and I'll post it in the Discord. So remind me of that. Oh, Temple, you're planning on going to an actual castle in Europe, a castle that actually served a function, and not just we built it to mimic a castle, and it's all for aesthetic purposes. So I've not ever been to a European castle. I've been to Europe a few times, but never went to a castle. That is, it's definitely on the bucket list. Uh-oh. Sorry, I'm just reading a note from my wife. She accidentally dropped one of her earrings and can't find it. Scavenger hunt later. She's also telling me, so those who have garages and live in certain places in the country or in other countries, I don't know if they have garages in other countries. I don't park in the garage in the summertime, and I take over the garage with stuff in the summer. And then there is we need to be able to park the car in the garage in the wintertime when it's cold, when it might snow. So she also said, can't tell you how much I love that I'm parking garage. She just got the car in the garage this week before coming here. I got it all cleaned up so she can park in the garage. My half of the garage is not cleaned up. I can't park in the garage. But she's like, can't tell you how much I loved going to the car this morning and not getting wet going to the car. So there's that. But when I lived in Texas, the only time you needed to park your car in the garage was when there was a hailstorm. Then you'd park your car in the garage. Otherwise, yeah, it wasn't, you could protect it from the sun, but my car wasn't that good. So, all right. Hey, if they have fancy tea bags, please save a couple for me. I'd love to taste them. I don't know how fancy they'll be. I've gone to these before at different places, and they might just have the mesh bags instead of the cheap bags. They might do that. The little triangle bags, but not often do I see them really have, super good ones or super fancy ones. Yes, with a distinct Welsh accent. I don't know if I can do a Welsh accent. Temple, yeah, a real castle. We won't be staying inside the castle, but with the walls of the village. I mean, that just sounds cool. Yeah, well, the thing is, she had to go into the office for work today. She works remote and rarely goes in, so she lost it trying to get ready to go into work. So it's probably going to be the thing she's thinking about all day long until she gets home, and then she's going to scavenger hunt to find it when she gets home. So, yeah, so there's that. Paps, you always thought it was weird to use a garage as an extra room. I like having my car and not subject to the elements. Oh, well, I'm not using it like as an extra room. I have bicycles that are in there. My lawnmower isn't cramped in the corner. My bicycles are out to go in and out. Yeah, it's more of the functionality of getting at things and access to things instead of them all hidden and surrounding, and you can't walk between your car and get out and do something. It's like, no, I'm going to work in the garden. Let me just grab this and walk through the garage, and my bicycles are parked around and all that stuff. So, Mom, boss lady, good morning. How's it? Oh, Mom, boss lady, it's so awesome. It's so awesome. Anybody who and by the way, over on Love Thy Nerd, they are live streaming it. So if you want to go over to Love Thy Nerd, and I'll post it. I have been posting it, the link over in my Discord when they go live. You'll be able to get the morning sessions. I don't think they're doing anything live with the breakout sessions. They are going to record it and probably make those available later. But you can, and the AI one yesterday. Oh my goodness, AI yesterday was mind blowing. Was fantastic. Thinking about redeeming spaces and realms. Okay, I'm going to use that language. The realm. Okay, a realm is a place in where we inhabit, and there are rules of the realm that you follow. Is so good. It was so good. Yeah, or Lipton. Oh no. Yeah, not. Oh no. If you politely have Lipton for me, I will drink it. But yeah, not gonna say I think it's great. It's higher than great value. True. It is. It is. Um. Oh, you're still hurt that it's no longer orange and black Pico by design. Yes. All right. Passing out some cookies. Yeah, Subdue. Yeah, Subdue's here with me. Bootstraps Boots, who's in the chat, is here with me. Mel, if Mel shows up in the chat today, she's here at the con with me. There's others here too. Subdue saying, yeah, very deep keynote, but very good. Made me lots of consideration questions. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and watch that VOD again. So, love my new eyes. Awesome. Able to see properly. Oh, Mom Boss Lady, that's awesome. Okay, let's jump into Lamentation. Let's get that book finished. Let's get that, hit it out of the park, and finish Lamentation. So let me just do a little review here. The book of Lamentations it starts out as an acrostic. If you don't know what an acrostic is, it's where you have like Psalm 119, and it's the first word of the first sentence starts with the first letter of the alphabet. The second verse starts with the second letter of the alphabet, and then you go on and on and on through the alphabet. So chapter 1 goes through the alphabet. Chapter 2 goes through the alphabet. Chapter 3 again goes through the alphabet. Chapter 4 goes through the alphabet. One of the other things that you have is the length of chapter 3 is double the length of the other chapter. So the middle chapter of the 5 chapters is doubled. It's one of the books where intentionally by design, it is actually broken up where you would break it up from the writer's perspective with the 5 chapters. So we also have a chiasm here, which means chapter 1 matches chapter 5. Chapter 2 matches chapter 4. Chapter 3 is unique in that it's talking about the same things, all pointing to the center. In the center are 3 verses of hope. The rest is despair. The rest is crying out. The rest is describing the horrible situation that he finds himself in. And so now if you remember that there was the acrostic, which is A, B, C, D, all the way through the alphabet, which puts order to the chaos that he's enduring through. We get to chapter 5 now that does not follow the acrostic. It stops that. And so as we read chapter 5, it's going to be in a chaotic fashion, like he's returning to the world. So if you want to think of this as approaching God with all the lamenting, getting to the center, identifying and remembering who God is, seeing hope, seeing trust in God, but then returning back to the world around you, and the world seems to continue to fall into chaos. So you've got grammatical structures, you've got linguistic structures, you've got poetic structures here, all going through this book. I mean, this book has layer upon layer upon layer. And what do we usually do? Go, yeah, this is depressing. Let's not read it. If you don't have the words to cry out to God, here they are. They might not exactly match your situation, but oh, the sentiment matches your sentiment when you are in the midst of the struggle, when life is chaotic, when life is beating you down, when the world is going off the rails. That's what it is. Okay. Mom Boss Lady. Gooman, share stuff in Miss Maria's Discord, and you'll see. Oh, okay. Wasn't cold here yesterday, Mom says, but had been sitting outside and got tired of my hair blowing in the wind, blowing every which way. Yes. Subdue. Could you slide me some of those eye actions? Yes, he broke his glasses before the conference and hasn't had a chance to replace them. I offered him my pair that he could try, but probably would not have helped as I have bifocals. So, okay. Let me just see if there's anything else in chat. You usually just pray, may God help me, please. Yes. Yeah, in the middle of all of that. Yep. Hey! IT Little Teapot! Little Teapot! Awesome. Just spread positivity. I hope your stream goes well. IT! I want to say IT because my brain is reading tech stuff. Like, Little Teapot! Teapot! Hey! Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, can't see up close, can't see far away. Yes. Yes. I threw my bag away, but it's a nice English breakfast that I am drinking today here. So, all right. So as always, jump in the chat with questions. Jump in the chat with thoughts. Jump in. Hey, Story's also here at the con. Ask those who are here with FOMO. Ask questions in the chat. And those who are here can jump in and answer. Who has been your favorite speaker so far? Who's been your favorite speaker so far? And these are long questions, so you might only get a one-word answer because you can't put all the backing behind there. And what was the best breakout session you went to? I went to a breakout session on content creators and thinking through stuff. That's been my favorite breakout session. I'll just put that one out there. And I think the AI is probably at the top right now. Mom Boss Lady, I want one of those dragon bags so bad. I'm going to explore today because I saw on the table there were a set of them left. I'm going to explore what's going to happen to the bags that are left and see about getting that to the taco community to do some more stuff with. Ukulele, we can see the speakers, but not the vendor tables. What is the coolest vendor table and why? Ooh. So let me just say, whatever your church hallway is, think of all the vendor tables being set up in your church hallway on both sides. And when you have two people standing at the table with the vendor talking to two people, the hallway is crowded. I have not made it to the vendor tables. I do, however, know half of the vendors, and I've been having conversations with them outside of that. And I've got one I got to totally follow up with today. That's on my number one list, is to talk to Reliant. And I can share more of that in the chat later. So, great question. I love that question. And Samus and I, we're at ReachCon together. She's here. We've been talking quite a bit too. So, good stuff. Yeah, I'm watching. That's a thought, but on the bag giveaway, I'm gonna explore what's going on. I don't want to overstep bounds, but I also don't want them to just be discarded with no purpose. Yeah, you got all those tables. Fill your passport for the giveaway. Well, this is the passport she's talking about. I've not made it there. I have talked with two of the vendors I already know personally. I would say half of the vendors I know already. So I I also decided, yes, there's cool stuff to be given away. Let somebody else win it. I don't need to win it. Okay, I've said this 3 times. I've introed it. Let's actually go finish our last chapter. Finish the book of Lamentation. Okay, chapter 5. O Lord, reflect on what has happened to us. Consider and look on our disgrace. Our inheritance is turned over to strangers. Foreigners now occupy our home. So when we were talking earlier, it was all about going into exile, and so there was the people of God going into exile. There was the dwelling place of God, the temple being destroyed. There was the personal experience of Jeremiah going away, and the things that happened to him that were done to him. Now we're getting a why would God restore us? Why would God restore us? That's what I think we're shifting to here. Um, we have become fatherless orphans. Our mothers have become widows. We must pay money for our own water. We must buy our own wood at a steep price. Now, whether this is metaphorical of talking about the heinous conditions, the obstacles that are there, or whether these are literal, I don't think it matters. Remember, we're in poetic structure. So you could say we have to pay for our own water, which would seem ridiculous. Not so much. Not so much. We have, modern conveniences, plumbing being one of those. Water in indoor plumbing, small price to pay for the use of that water, and then we go out and we buy bottled water at a higher price. So, but 100 years ago, paying for water, like it would just not conceptually be something people would think about. So that might be one of the things. Like it's such a desperate thing, we can't even get the necessities of life. I believe that's what's trying to be implied here. We are pursued. They are breathing down our necks. We are weary. We have no rest. Oh, this is such a good image there. The theological allusion that goes back to the physical rest. Yes. So one of the things that happens when you are in the place of God, the dwelling of God, is that you have rest from your enemies. You are in a place now. In the enemy place, you have no rest. You have no shalom. You have no peace. You have no, like, all the restorative things that go along with that. So, I'm Boss Lady. I drink bottled water. You don't dare drink the tap here in your apartment complex. And that can be true, too. We have let our infrastructure deteriorate without upgrading it. And some of the old systems are not, well, either by taste or by quality, good for drinking. So yeah, well, and that's also when I go. Not because I'm here. This is because the conference had it available. It was easier to grab that and have it available and portable. But when I go to foreign countries, I usually, for my own safety, regardless if their water is bad, my body's not used to whatever is in their water. So even if it's not, uh, uh, an amount that would be dangerous, my digestive system might revolt from the change in my drinking water. When I go to foreign countries, I usually do bottled water because of the consistency and purity of it. All right. We have submitted to Egypt and Assyria in order to buy food to eat. Our forefathers sinned and are dead, but we suffer their punishment. Okay. This is a cry. This does not mean it has to be literally the idea of I'm suffering for what someone else did. Okay? It is the natural consequences of what those who preceded you did. So I have often gone into churches and there is some kind of circumstance crisis that has been left when I get there. Some of that might be that they don't have a youth program anymore. There's something that needs to be rebuilt there. I've gone into one where uh, the previous church split had happened. Church hurt was in there, and so, or I haven't gone into all of these, but sometimes there's financial circumstance that you go into, and the church is in dire need there. So I didn't cause it. I am not responsible for it. However, it is my responsibility to deal with it. It is my responsibility to endure it. It is so that's I think what we're getting at here. But you know how it is when you're complaining about things and when you're describing things, you describe them as always and never, right? This is what he's doing here, lamenting, is the always and never. Like, I'm not talking about the exceptions. I'm not talking about the usual. I'm not trying to. Hey, let's see. BSG Hobo Bob, welcome in. Welcome in. Thanks for the follow. So, yeah, hey Bob. Bob, by the way, happens to be one of my favorite names to use. I love it because it's spelled forward and backwards is the same thing. So Bob and Bob. Bob is good. Yeah, found you, Papstio. There we go. So anyway, what I was saying with that is when I'm going to paint the picture to my kids and correct them and discipline them, I'm going to say, you never clean your room. Well, it's a problem they have, but to say they never clean their room would be false. But when I say you never clean your room, I don't actually mean you never clean your room. I'm saying this is a constant problem. It is the constant circumstance that I see going on here. So when we're saying all of this that we're suffering, it is taking and pushing it off and saying we didn't, so it's that same kind of thing. Same kind of thing. Slaves rule over us. There is no one to rescue us from their power. At the risk of our lives, we go out. So we go get our food. But robbers lurk in the wilderness. Our skin is as hot as an oven due to the fever from hunger. Okay, do you actually get a fever from hunger? I mean, what's the footnote have? The burning heat of famine. Oh, sorry. That's totally different image there. The burning heat of famine is the sun-baked earth that is drought-stricken, that doesn't have, and then also when you have famine, you have a spiritual condition. Oh, sorry. Don't like the fever from hunger. The burning heat, the condition we're in that's causing the drought. I didn't get any of that idea from fever of hunger. I'm thinking a physical fever. I got a fever. And the only prescription is less hunger. Okay. So welcome in, by the way. We are finishing up the book of Lamentations, Bob. Mom boss lady, I may be misunderstanding this, but is there such a thing as a family curse, such as depression and or mental health disorders? Just curious. Are the sarcastic never? Yes. Symbolic never. Yes, that's really what this is alluding to. So your question on family curse, okay? I like to use this example, and I think it helps to think that through. So if I was incarcerated, and let's just say it's when my kids were younger, and let's say the oldest one is 10 years old. I now go away, let's just say, for 10 years. They graduate from high school before I get out of being in prison. Their whole going through middle school and high school, their whole formative years of becoming an adult, I miss all of those because I'm incarcerated. So while that's not a curse in the sense of, something bad is going to happen and all these things and witchcraft or spiritry and sorcery and all of those stuff. No, there are practical consequences on my kids, on my spouse, on the family, because of what happened to me. And those consequences that they will have to deal with growing up, the consequences they will have going into their adulthood, the consequences that their children will endure because of the fact I wasn't there. I wasn't able to contribute to my family. I wasn't able to be present with my family. I was a burden on my family. That, in a sense, is a curse upon my family, because if you will allow me, what I believe a curse is the removal of blessing. So from that standpoint, my removal of my ability to be a blessing, to give things to my family, to make their lives better, by my absence from being able to be a blessing to them, I am now a curse to them, and a curse that goes on to generations because of the lack that is there because of my absence from their time growing up. So I hope that makes sense. If you're tracking with me, that is how I would describe curses, as an absence of blessing, a removal of blessing, and curses are the opposite of it. Yeah, I know we can talk about I curse you and these things will happen, but really they're the opposite of I'm going to bless you. So in that regard, I don't think of a curse that just gets on you and you can't get rid of it. I think of a curse from the standpoint of it is the consequences of what happened that passed down to other generations. So when it talks about the curse and going on to the third and fourth generation of scriptures talking about it, I don't think of curse in the standpoint of like you're doing witchcraft and those kinds of things. I see the curse as the consequences of what you did are going to perpetuate for 3 and 4 generations, and you're going to live. Reason why it's 3 and 4 is I will live to see what takes place to them. So we can jump back to Jeremiah's day with the last king, and I'm blanking on who the last king is. I want to say Zedekiah, but I might be wrong, so don't quote me on that. When he's told to just surrender to Nebuchadnezzar and it will go well with your family, he doesn't. And what he does instead is he flees for his life. When he flees for his life, he's captured. He watches all of the nobles who were with him get killed in front of his eyes. He watches all of his family get killed in front of his eyes, and then he has his eyes poked out. So that was the curse upon him for not obeying, where he could have been blessed for the rest of his life. His family could have lived. So I don't know if that fully answers your question about curses, but that's my view on how I read through the Bible, thinking about curses and doing those. Great question, by the way. Okay. So we're just talking about chaos here. So, when people get in desperate circumstances, chaos abounds. So, they raped women in Zion, virgins in the towns of Judah. Princes were hung by their hands. Elders were mistreated. The young men performed menial labor. Boys staggered from their labor. The elders are gone from the city gates. The young men have stopped playing their music. So, there's no longer fun happening. Everything is chaos. The elders are no longer being the ones leading and judging. They just can't control. It's just awful, and you're staggering in labor and all this stuff. So, Mom Boss Lady, the reason I asked is my great-grandmother had a mental illness and killed your great-grandfather, and your grandmother fought depression because she was an orphan that my mom in fighting depression. I'm fighting depression. So is my daughter, and that is a curious piece. Yes. So in regards to that, I will I could say also I have mental health issues in my family. I don't know all the circumstances of them. My family at times would mention someone and then say, "Oh, but we don't talk about them." And then, oh, yeah, they were in the home. And they mean it back in the day when there were mental health institutions. All that, they were in the home. And they would talk about, oh, yeah, well, it skips a generation. So the next one is going to have all the problems and those things. I don't know how much of that is, what's the word I'm thinking of? Myth. That's not the word I'm thinking of, but like mythology about things, or superstition. That's what I was thinking. Like superstitions that get passed on. Of, oh, well, it skips a generation. Oh, and then you're gonna have problems, and oh, all these things. Is like, if you believe that and you start to see that, then everything points to that. However, um, there could be genetics involved in some mental health issues and disorders, the same way that there can be genetics in physical disorders. So, for instance, sickle cell anemia is a blood disease that gets passed on genetically. You do nothing to accumulate it, but it gets passed on. The genes get passed on, those kinds of things. So it's not from a standpoint of, oh, just one generation has a problem. It's something in the genes that get passed on. I think that there could be, and I know they're doing research on it, there could be more things with mental health that are genetic that get passed on. And maybe it's directly depression, maybe it's not, but maybe what it is it's a chemical imbalance of things in your brain, or part of your body's ability to produce certain chemicals that would keep you in a regulated state. I'm just going to say that, regulated, of like the appropriate balance. And if your body doesn't do that, and that's genetic, and you pass that on, and then the symptoms of that lack of all of the proper balance of body chemicals leads to, and a symptom is depression, then absolutely that makes sense to me. But I'm not saying all depression is caused by that. I'm not saying all of it is fixed by that. But there are chemical imbalances in the brain that do have a physiological piece that leads to a mental health condition. So that is the extent of my knowledge. So I really can't add more to it or details, but that's as far as I've studied. I understand that. Mom, it's just the females though, and the males in the family seem to be fine. Yeah, and I think that was the case with my family stuff too. The other side was um, the number of people and relatives in my family that have taken their own life or attempted to take their own life. I would say has to statistically be higher than the general population. Because I remember going to numerous funerals as a kid with people who had taken their own life. It it would not have necessarily been fully openly talked about in that regard, but I knew what had happened. When you have a closed casket and someone had a shotgun, you know what they did. Even as a kid, you understand that. So, um, and or other things that happened. So, yeah, and that was mostly males that did that. So, some of it can be just the symptoms manifest themselves in a different way. And then I hope I'm contributing to breaking the stigma of getting mental health help. If you have anything going on, let me go ahead and throw this in the chat. Anytime I talk about mental health, I want to put up the suicide hotline. Okay, this is international list on there as well. Um, is it? I need to remember these better. There we go. Here are my links to mental health things. So if you want to find mental health support group, these are also online. Fresh Hope has those online. I did those with my local church before COVID. Be Nice is a program that you can even share this with your church. They have a whole set of sermons that I've done. So Be Nice is notice what's good in other people, then notice what's different. Invite yourself into a conversation. How do I do that? Hey, I notice you're always cheerful when you come in the chat. Hey, you came in today and you were dragging. You didn't comment. You just said hi. You didn't talk to me. You didn't hug me. You didn't do those other things. I noticed that. Is there something going on? C is challenge. Challenge the other person. So, hey, that seems out of the ordinary. What's going on? Let's talk about it. Hey, have you seen and sought help? And then empower people to make a change to do that. So that's where I'm giving you resources to try to do that. You think you have a number on your phone? Yes. And if you look up above in the U.S., the crisis line, you can just text 988. And I know some people have told me stories of they've talked to these resources at times, and it was not helpful. I'm sorry for that. But in lack of any other thing that I can do and give you, and to be available 24 hours a day, this is a place that hopefully will help and do more harm than good, and they can get you to more resources and more people that can help. So, Lou says, "Hey, welcome in." By the way, what? I would hate to think that it could be a learned thing, like how kids see their parents deal with a problem or stress. Well, I would say behavior things might, like, so. For instance, I think you can learn anxiety. Okay, I think you can learn anxiety and stress. For instance, if I talk about every time I go to the mailbox and I open up mails, oh, the bills, the bills, the bills. I am teaching my kids to be fearful and stressful when bills come of not being able to pay money. And so they will naturally do that. Now, I'm not saying that's a mental disorder of anxiety and stress. There are mental diagnoses of higher levels of anxiety. But if I go to the mailbox and I go, oh, we got a couple of bills. We'll be able to take care of that, no problem. Whether I can or can't, my words and all of those things. Yeah, I do think we can teach them to how coping skills and ways to address those things. I think there are some things there, but it's not exclusive. Wade, how much of who we become is our nature versus our environment and upbringing? You see it with twins and how their environment shapes them, even being similar genetics. Yeah, twin studies are fascinating. And you can see some things like that they do are just like there's genetics is the only explanation. But other things, yeah, environment is. I don't know the answer to that. And I also don't know that it matters on some level because we can't change it. Bob, a lot of people are so used to being online that they are not comfortable to talk with people IRL. I would suggest signing up for classes at community center or church where you can be social in a shared interest environment. That's a great suggestion. Yeah, also, I have friends who are counselors, and you can do counseling online, and they actually think it is better from this standpoint. If you go to an hour counseling session, they will talk about the 15 minutes left in the session is finally when you start to talk about the problem somebody's dealing with, because they look at the clock and they go, oh, my time is running out. I need to get my money's worth. And then they finally open up. So you just wasted 45 minutes of the time not talking about stuff. And then finally getting down to it, you start to make progress and your time is up. When you go online, they said it's not that way. Within 5 minutes, people are opening up and talking about what's going on. And the reason for that, they think, is I am in a comfortable setting. I am in my environment, and that takes down barriers of anxiety, and my comfort level is higher. It takes 45 minutes of being present with the person you trust to then feel comfortable enough to open up and share. But if you start in a comfortable place, you're more open. And I see that at times in streams where you're home, you are safe, you are behind the screen. Maybe you're not always home, but you know what I mean. You're in a place where you feel like you have control and comfort about the situation, and you're more free to open up and share. So I love that aspect. But I'll tell you what, IRL meetups with tons of people, my extrovert is on high alert, and it's being the monster of my extrovert is being fed this week over the top. Yeah, online counseling is a good first step. Didn't think of that. Good. Yeah, my daughter. This is the other benefit of having an online counselor. My daughter moved 5 hours away from where she lived to her new house. She has the same counselor, and she did not have to move. She didn't have to change that. She just goes to the same counselor. It took quite some time for her to get a counselor that she actually felt listened to her and valued her and could didn't think that. Listen to what actually she had for a few counselors. So I'm just going to say, advocate for yourself. If you get somebody that you don't think is helping you, go someplace else. She went to a counselor, and they would say, "Oh, well, you're better than 90% of the people I have. You really don't have any problems. I don't think I need to see you." This is what counselors told her. And she's like, "No, I just told you." Here, and I'm like self-aware, and here's what I'm dealing with, and I don't like this, and I need help to do this. And they're like, "You're better than 90% of my people. I don't have time for you. You go find someone else." So I know that it's a struggle. You also there's other things too with online of if you have embarrassment of being seen at the counseling office because people will recognize your car. Nobody has to know if the stigma is on there, and the stigma is a hurdle to overcome. The safety of your own home. There's no stigma on that. So, yep, mine shrink. Sorry, can't spell the proper name. Oh, gotcha. Well, we have 10 minutes. We need to wrap up. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Bob, I am super social and tend to have people ask me about it, and I, for a long time, didn't have any suggestions because I'm natural. It comes natural for me, but as I'm getting older, I like to have advice to share. LOL. Oh yeah. Well, you know what? Here's the weird thing. And I was having a conversation with someone yesterday about. So I grew up, and like if I took the Myers-Briggs, which tells you personality stuff, like I was extrovert all the way, no introvert whatsoever. Preaching on Sundays, I started to notice within 3 years, I was probably 50-50 introvert extrovert. Preaching in front of people on a weekly basis was killing my extrovert. I could use extrovert things and return to that. Streaming has given my extrovert life again, to feel what it wants to feel, to do what it wants to do, and behave the way it wants to. So when I get to these things, my extrovert just goes crazy and it has fun. And I was talking about like when I get done preaching, I don't want to talk to people the rest of the day. I want to go and hide. You know what happens when I get done streaming and talking with you, all of this? I am so energized and so excited because it's interactive. It's not just pouring out. It's interactive, and I'm engaging, and it's like, I need more people to go talk to. Right when I get done streaming, he's like, I gotta go talk to people. Tell them how awesome this was. DJ, welcome in, DJ Courageous. Mom Boss Lady, oh, just got your doctor's appointment and food shopping. I didn't visit friends when I really don't have friends IRL, so I stay home and I'll sit on my balcony, but that's it. Yes, streaming levels of an ambivertness. Yes, streaming levels out my ambivertness too. True. Okay. Wow. I'm looking at, we got the countdown to ads. It's not going to let me snooze it. Let's just see how far we get before the ads come. The finishing lamentations. Mom, I rarely go to church because most of the time we don't have clean clothes. Well, yeah, that's a hard situation, Mom, and there's lots of people with valid reasons that get in the way, interfere with their ability to go to a physical church. And if you do not have the ability to go to a physical church, DM me. I would love to help you find a digital church where you can, hang out. You can also go to my Discord and go look at digital churches. I have a section in the Discord for digital churches. I don't have them all listed. I have several listed. You can check them out. If you want to talk to me more specifically and say, what are you looking for? What is it you need? I can be a better help at pointing you to the right one that is going to love you, embrace you, and bring you into the community. Yeah. Oh, well, finish the Bible in mid-February. It'll be fine. Yes. Sidebars matter. Totally. Okay. Our hearts no longer have any joy. Our dancing is turned to mourning. Okay, so I was telling you this is a chiasm. So this is how the book starts. This is a repeat to it, a return to it. But they are both pointing to the center where there was hope. So this is not a denial of hope. It is a reality check after acknowledging hope. So hope is not a denial of the reality you're living with. Hope is the acknowledgement of God is the only way out of the circumstance you are in. And you hold on to hope in the midst of the circumstance because hope is what allows you to endure what you are going through. Bob, my church streams every Sunday. 3 times. I run the audio for most weeks. I have been really good way to meet people where they are. That's awesome, Bob. I'd love to sidebar with you about how does your church engage the people that are in the live stream, and what do they do during the week to have community online to build relationships. I'd love to have that conversation with you sometime if you'd like to. There's no time limit. Oh, no, it's just like we do it all the time. Well, you know what? If we finish the Bible in a year this year, you know what we're going to do next year? Read the Bible some more. So, Mom Boss Lady, my church streams, but I don't always remember, LOL. But yes, I'd love to be able to, a church, yeah, I'm a church member to talk to like during the week and people not think that I'm always complaining. Like sometimes I feel that's all I do. Yeah. Well, here's Lament right here. Yes, I have Discord. Let me just post that. I'm a participant in many Discords. But there's my Discord. So join me over there. I will then send you a link to my calendar that you can schedule a one-on-one with me. And we can do that in Discord, even if it says Google Meet. We can do those meetings in Discord. So, all right, we're going to go to ads. I'm sorry I don't have the fish. We will just go with the feet.
Black cat pastor dashing through pages. Chronicles, Gospels, prophets, sages. Leviticus, laws to pause, find phrases. Turning them corners, no spiritual mazes. Genesis to Revelation, so divine. Flip them scripts, endless grace you'll find. Psalms singing sweet, unbroken lines. Hitting that rhythm, wordplay refined. Anybody in here blessed? Anybody in here blessed? Bible in 1 year, we don't rest. Anybody in here blessed? Wake up early, the dawn's light shimmers. Spiritual breakfast, soul food dinners. Isaiah's vision, Ezekiel's figures. Walk through the fire, no one limbers. Kings and judges, prophets profound. Plowing the word, no mythical ground. Verse after verse, wisdom's bound. Heavenly soundtrack, soul serving sound. Anybody in here blessed? Anybody in here blessed? Bible in 1 year, we don't rest. Anybody in here blessed? No shortcuts, all divine routes. Listen to the whispers, no room for doubt. Parables drop stronger than gold faucets. Souls hydrated from divine prophets. Study the book, change perspectives. Carefully crafted, not too subjective. A year to reflect, learning perfect. Patterns of grace that time can't deflect. Old Testament drops deep and so real. Kings and warriors, covenant seals. Split that Red Sea, divine reveal. Commandments written, not made.
All right, we should be back. I ran and refilled hot water in my tea while I ran the BRB because I'm not home. Internet not good enough quality to run fish cams while I'm not here. DJ, love your thought here. I don't find that many churches these days treat streaming like broadcasting on TV. Used to be. It's not meant to be it's not meant to be an extended community, but just a window to look in. Yeah. See, and I think here's the problem on one level is when COVID happened, a lot of churches just said, We don't know why, but we're running to online, and then we're putting, and this is my language, we're putting our religious goods and services online. And then people said, oh, I can get my religious goods and services online instead of going in person. It's more convenient. Why would I go in person? So the problem is not that people are not going in person. The problem is we didn't have relationships with people. We weren't building disciples out of people. We were only giving them religious goods and services and inviting them to participate in religious goods and services. And now we are upset that they're not coming to get our religious goods and services. I think what we need to focus on, regardless of anything you're doing, if you're a physical church or you are uh, a digital church, a hybrid of both of those, anywhere in between, or you are just a digital missionary, is it needs to be about connecting with people, creating community, building relationships, and helping people grow towards looking like Jesus. I don't care what you call that. I don't care if you're physical. I don't care if you're VR. I don't care if you're Twitch. I don't care if you're TikTok. That's what you need to be doing in the standpoint of if you're doing ministry. Okay, if you're just a streamer doing stuff for fun and all that, I'm not opposed to any of that. I'm saying if your intent, and if you're a church or a ministry or a missionary, any one of those three, and your intent is to help people grow in Christ likeness, then it needs to be about connection and community and relationship. Then equipping people to be what they're supposed to be, and then mobilizing them to go and do that. And then if you can't identify that here is someone I poured my life into and they've poured their life into someone else. And I'm not saying you alone, because there's multiple people that should be pouring into you, not just one person. There should be multiple people pouring into you. And that is not the way most churches think. It was, well, if we don't go online, we'll lose our people. And so we're going to go online because that's what we have to do. And now we are losing people, so we have to change so we'll get our people back. And it's just like you're not answering the right questions. You're not approaching things the right way. So, and again, to emphasize my point, I use the language of selling religious goods and services. I don't believe that's what people think they're doing. I'm just identifying what they actually ended up doing. So, or what they inherited doing, and they don't know anything different, and they just end up doing that stuff. Yeah, your dance breaks were amazing. Oh, thank you, Bob. Pop Taterhead. Good morning, Flat Cap and Chad. May everyone have a blessed day. Thank you. Bob with Bob with the Prime subs. Oh my goodness. I know some people might go, meh, Prime sub, but let me tell you what, Bob. Let me tell you what. You don't get to give a Prime sub to anyone else for another 30 days. I am the only one who is the recipient of your Prime sub for the next 30 days. Thank you. I love the Prime sub. I don't care about the money, but it's the I'm giving this to you, and you're the only one who gets it. So I love that. Thank you. And this, like, you just showed up. This is the first time here, first time chatter, and boom, I get the sub. Like, you could have given it to anybody. So, DJ, totally agree. My IRL church has taken the extra step of hosting their own streaming page on their website and allow chats for people to watch. And there's yes, exactly. They are intentional about creating community. They're not, yes, exactly. Who interact to a point that even have a volunteer who will pray with someone via private message if they need it. It's not to the caliber of what NCMS is talking about this week, but it gives me hope. I think for my church, it's a volunteer issue and not having enough as opposed to not embracing. Oh, totally. DJ, if you have any connections within the church and you're trying to help them understand that and need some coaching and assistance, DM me. Totally. I don't talk about it all the time because, like, I hate self promo. I really do. I just don't know how to do it. So I work with The Church Digital, and we love helping churches be able to see what it means to actually be built. And that's really where that language is from. The making connections that lead to community, that lead to equipping, that lead to mobilization. That is our MO at the church digital. If you're going to go look it up, we do have a Discord server. I'd love to invite you over there. We have podcasts and stuff, so you can go watch some podcasts, share some of those podcasts with your leaders, get them into our community, get them into a conversation with me and others. Totally love that, DJ. If there is a way I can help your church see the shift from of saying, like, this is the shift that happened for me. So I kept trying to reach my own people who were in my community, and I did those things before COVID. I mean, I was broadcasting live services 10 years before COVID, but all I was doing was, hey, you're a homebound person, and I want you to feel like you're included in this. So here's what you can watch live, and live will help you feel like you're there. You won't miss anything. And then if you're on vacation, you're sick, we had snowbirds who go south, like all of those things, you could still be part of the community. You had to already be established in the community to do it. COVID helped me see the shift of, there are people who will never walk through the doors of my church. They need a community. They need connection to God, and they need a safe place to do it. And they need to actually not just be consuming goods and services, because they could just do that on TV. They don't need me. If I'm competing with everybody with the high value production, I'm of no value. My value is in my relationship with you, of knowing you. And the more you hang around, the more you share with me. When we jump off a stream and we get into chats, I get to know you more. When I reveal more about myself, you reveal more about yourself. And so, love it, DJ. Totally tracking with you. Your church, I would say, is open and moving with the Spirit, and maybe just needs some coaching along the way to move into those levels that, yeah, so it sounds like you were watching some of the stuff here at NCMS. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. All right. Let's see if we can finish Lamentation now. The crown has fallen from our head. Woe to us, for we have sinned. See, here we have straight up acknowledgement of the root cause. We did this. We did this. Because of this, our hearts are sick. Because of these things, we can hardly see through our tears. For wild animals are prowling over Mount Zion, which lies desolate. Okay, and when you hear Zion, you think spiritual place, not just necessarily Jerusalem. When you hear Mount Zion, it is the spiritual place of the dwelling of God, not the physical temple dwelling place of God. But there's an overlap there where heaven meets earth, if you will. But you, O Lord, reign forever. Your throne endures from generation to generation. Why do you keep on forgetting us? Why do you forsake us so long? Bring us back to yourself, O Lord, so that we may return to you. Renew our life as in days before, unless you have utterly rejected us and are angry with us beyond measure. So there is this final plea to God with we really hope for this, but maybe it's too late. Like, it's just like they can't even hope to hope anymore. Just like the resign to whatever is. I've let my plea go out. God, I've said my piece. I love the honesty of that last piece there. I want this unless it's too late. I want this unless you can't give it to me. I want this, and I'm just in your hands. You'll definitely check out thechurch.digital. Thank you. And be praying concerning what you just mentioned. Awesome, man. 8-ball. Will we finish the book of Lamentations today? Too bad there isn't an 8-ball. Yeah, I probably won't add that. It's probably not a thing I will add. There we go. We got Lamentation done. And then I said, we're going to go to Joel next. Okay, so Joel is one of the smaller prophets. It's just 3 chapters long. Joel is, I don't remember when he is. This is one of the things, like, I'm not good with remembering when the prophets are. What I really need to do, and I've said this, but I just have never done it, and I could go look for somebody else, but I need a timeline of the prophets and when they fit in the timeline of the kings of Judah and Israel. I really need that. I know somewhere I had a thing that was like, here's the ones to the northern kingdom, here's the ones to the southern kingdom, and I've lost that and I don't remember. Anyway, Joel is quoted by Peter on the day of Pentecost. So Joel is quoted there. I love that Peter is quoting from Joel. I love these short little, like, when we were going through Isaiah and Jeremiah, I was lamenting because there's just so much. And you get destruction, and you get destruction, and you get annihilation, and you get annihilation, and you get exile, and you get exile. And it's like, oh, I just like the overwhelming nature of the constant. It's gonna be awful. I just don't like it. It's against my personality, and I just don't like it. But the short little ones with Joel, like, yeah, let's have some fun. We got 3 chapters. This will be good. Bob's Church is doing a series on what they call one-hit wonders, covering all the single chapter books. Oh, I love that. I love that. And I often, when I would have a in between, like I finished a long series, and then we're going to go into, maybe an Advent or a Lent series, and I just got this many weeks, I would go do that. I would go find a book of the Bible and say, I got 3 weeks, a 3-chapter book we will study. I got 4 weeks, we'll do a 4-chapter book. I held up 5 for some reason. But I don't think I ever did a one-hit wonder series. That's a cool thought. Obadiah, Philemon, 2 John, 3 John, and Jude. Ooh, I like that. And we just did Philemon last week. which was good. You don't want it added. I just thought it would be funny. Oh, yes. Gotcha. All right. Like I said, I don't remember enough about Joel to give you an introduction to Joel. It's like I said, it's a short book. It's not one I go to often. I remember it mostly from Peter's reference to it. So let's jump into Joel. I know I like to give you background, but I don't remember this one. This is the Lord's message that came to Joel, the son of Pethuel. All right. We got some names. Those who are new here, we read in Net Bible, which is the New English Translation, and then when we come across words, we go look them up in Blue Letter Bible. And the reason we do that is because it's got free resources here that you can go look up the Hebrew and the Greek, whatever it might be. So I like looking up names. So what does Joel mean? Well, the L on the end means there's something about God in the name. Pethuel, it means there is something about God in the name, because L is in the name. So there will be a reference to God in the name.
Strong's H 3100. Yoel.
Okay. So I know that this is an older one, and they put Jehovah in here. I'm not inclined, those who are new, to use the word Jehovah, because as I understand it, was the use of the name of God, the tetragram, the Yod He Vav He, and it had the vowels of Adonai, and it was supposed to not be pronounced. And so this is a mispronunciation of that conflation of the wrong vowels with the right consonants, and so I just prefer not to. So as I read through these, I will just substitute Yahweh in some places or God in other places. Here, when it's saying is God, you don't go God is God. I mean, that seems weird, so I would say Yahweh is God. So that's what Joel means. Pethuel, let's see how that sounds. Pethuel,
Strong's H 6602. Pethuel.
Joel, good morning, sir. May God keep you and guide you, and may the peace and blessing of our Lord Jesus Christ be with you. Thank you. I received that, friend. And I hope everyone else does too. So, vision of God. So, we have the Yahweh is God, the son of vision of God. There's some nice names there. Okay. Listen to this, you elders. Pay attention, all inhabitants of the land. Has anything like this ever happened in your whole life or in the lifetime of your ancestors? Okay, so again, with the spacing here, this is designed to tell us and give us a signal that this is poetic language. We don't get to the end of the verse. They're all just stagnated off. If you say this, you add this, you put this on. So we know we're in poetic language, which means we don't automatically assume things are literal when they're saying things. So We're talking about pay attention. Some radical things are happening. Nobody's ever seen this before. What is happening? Okay. Tell your children about it. Have your children tell their children, the following generation. What the Gamaz locust left, the Arba locust consumed. What the Arba locust left, the Zelic locust consumed. What the Zelic locusts have left, the Hazel locust consumed. Okay, I like how they're doing this. They are giving us the different forms of the locust here. Okay, here it is, number 11. The 4 different words for locust are used in this verse. It is uncertain whether they are representing different life stages of the locust or whether virtual synonyms are being used to underscore the severity of the damage caused by the relentless waves of locust invasion. The latter seems more likely. Many interpretations have understood the locust plague described here to be a symbolic of invading armies that were devastating the land, but the symbolism could also work the other way, with real plagues of locusts described in the following verses as invading army. The 4 Hebrew terms used in the verse have uncertain meaning. English translation show the great difference of variation in dealing these. The parmal worm, the locust, the cutter, and the gnawing locust. The locust swarm, chewing locust, cutting locust, giant locust. So caterpillar, grub, devourer, stripping locust. So it depends on how they're reading it. If it's a stages of locust development, then each one is getting a name that corresponds with it. And if it's not, then it's just getting grandiose descriptions of consuming locust, the stripping locust, the destroying locust, like worse things. So on some level, I don't want to automatically jump to these as references to armies. And even if they are references to armies, it makes sense to me to think about, hey, you know how the locust just did this? Armies are going to just do this to you too. Like it could be a both and I didn't see that in the here, but that would be another possibility. Supersonic, saved by grace. I gotta get used to your name, buddy. Supersonic, saved by grace. Gotcha him. Outcast Gaming 21. Hey brother, hope you're having a blessed day. Thank you, Outcast. Good to see you, friend. We're in Joel for those new coming in. We're in Joel. We just started. Okay. Wake up, you drunkards, and weep. Wail, all you wine drinkers, because the sweet wine has been taken away from you. For a nation has invaded my land, mighty and without number. Their teeth are like lions' teeth. Their fangs are like a lioness. Okay, so see how we just shifted and switched? These could all be talking about the same thing. These could be talking about multiple things. This is wisdom literature given by a prophet in a poetic kind of stance. And so whether these are meant to be understood literally or figuratively or symbolically, it's still the same message. You've done messed up, Aaron, and destruction is coming, or destruction has come. So yeah, absolutely. We like to shout out everybody. Oh, also, like the drunkards. Let me see what this has. The word drunkard has a double-edged meaning. Those accustomed to drinking too much must now lament the unavailability of wine. It's also that the people generally have become religiously inebriated and are unresponsive to God. Okay, that's a weird way to word that, but I get what you're saying. They have become consumers of pleasure, I think is another way of seeing that. Or they're desensitized because of the stupor that they're in. DJ, what do you mean? Oh, you're just replying to... Yeah, you're just chatting with each other. What is good? Okay, gotcha. Okay. And now we switch to lion's teeth, because lions are ferocious. They have destroyed my vines. They have turned my fig trees into mere splinters. They have completely stripped off the bark and thrown it aside. The twigs are stripped bare. Okay, this isn't language like what lions would do. So lions are metaphorical, and destruction of the vineyards is what happened. Yeah, what other streams do I know you? I'm drawing a blank. Yes. Oh, people ate finding each other. Yes, yes. People are finding each other in the stream. Yeah, I know. Isn't that awesome? Bob, I'm thankful for my wife and children. They have set me on a better path and brought me back to the Lord. I have trouble making time to spend with the Word as life can get busy, but I am working on it. Oh, dude, that's awesome. And yes, I understand how a wife and kids make me so much less selfish and self-centered. Yeah. Outcast Gaming over here, just chilling time before I head out to my new job. Oh, are you happy and excited about the new job? Lucis, what's the prayer time for? You like the stream? You're good. I'm glad you like it. Not everyone pays attention to it. They just kind of ignore it because it's always there. Sam, so good to have you back. Hope you're doing well. I hope you had a blessed day yesterday. What's a prayer request for Lucis? Let me know. Oh, Sam, speaking of new jobs, you have something to say? Well, I am on pins and needles. Tell me. I wait with bated breath. How many more metaphors can I throw out there? I anxiously await your eager declaration. Okay, so we finished that section of what has happened. Wail like a young virgin, clothed in sackcloth, lamenting the death of her husband to be. So she didn't even get married. Like it's a virgin waiting for wedding day, and your husband dies before wedding day. Like imagine that grief and mourning. That's the kind you're supposed to have about the circumstance that you are in. Prayer for the new jobs. Okay, I'll wait for Sam to give us the scoop, the lowdown, the deets, and then we'll pray. No one brings grain offerings or drink offerings to the temple of the Lord anymore. So the priest, those who serve the Lord, are in mourning. So the lack of worship of God, because the circumstances have changed, we can't even bring offerings. We are in dire straits. We can't even offer to God. Now the priests are in mourning because they are not bringing stuff to God. So Outcast says, dude, I'm super excited. Going to be twice as much money as your old job. Full benefits package ranging from health insurance to 401k. You get your birthday off every year, and if it falls on the weekend, I can take every day I want to off that month. Any day, I'm guessing, not every day. With pay, same goes if a holiday falls on a weekend. When my 1 year hits, I immediately get 3 weeks of paid vacation. Dude, that's cool. That is cool. Yeah, any day, not every day. Yeah. I'm like, oh wow, you can get every day of the month off if your birthday falls on the weekend. I'm like, playing the lottery, like, oh, my birthday needs to be on a Saturday. Come on, Saturday. Yay! I get the month off. That would be cool. DJ, probably the melanated B or heavyweight. Oh yeah. I don't make it to heavyweight that often. He usually doesn't stream at the time I do, but I do make melanated B. Possibly Mother Goose. Yep, I'm over there too. I know you were talking with Outcast, but I'm trying to get to know many of the Christian communities here on Twitch Discord, so I'm engaged with many streaming communities. Want to build as much of a digital relationship with people as possible. Dude, that's awesome. That is awesome. All right. So, still waiting. If you have anything, Samarella, on an update of something to say there, and then we will give praise to God for Outcast Gaming's new job, and then if you do as well, we will be praising that. There we go. You're going to be moving with my sister as you get application passed through, and your sister is having strong hope that I'll be approved. And me too, and I've tried to apply for a job as either a hostess or a waitress, but mostly trying to start my own food stall. Oh, cool!
Literal Samuel Moore just followed.
Oh, Lateral Samuel Moore just followed. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it, friend. DJ, I think I saw you in Mother Goose stream. There you go. I'm in there every stream. Same for Mel and Nick. Yep. Okay. Well, let's pray. Let's pray. God, we are giving praise for Outcast Gaming and for the new job. What a joy it is when we are able to move into a new space, have excitement about it, have blessings upon ourselves and our families that we can pass on and bless others and have stability and all of those things. I just pray that in this new job, all of the skills, the talents will be useful. His faith will be able to just be shown and witnessed to others and show love and kindness to others around. It'll be a good place for him to work, physically, mentally, spiritually. That it will be a place where he can grow and develop and learn and bless other people around and provide for family and take the opportunities that are given. God, may you just pour out blessing upon blessing there. And for Sam, who is excited about getting an application put in and pursuing some things and getting a position there, and then even dreaming about what more could happen. God, just bless Sam. Just pour out blessing upon Samarella. Be with Samarella. Allow a position that is joyful. Allow a position that will bring in needed resources and revenues and a chance to be working alongside sister maybe is there as well. And what an exciting joy to work along someone you already know and love. And so, and then just be with any possibility of being able to have own food stall and pursuing that as a possibility. God, I just praise you and thank you for that, and just pray that you will do that and pour that out. And Chill Will is saying, I am thankful to eat real food. I had some dental work done, and I was able to eat solid food for the first time in days. God, I had dental work done as well about a week and a half ago, and so I know that struggle. I finally made it through the night without waking up with pain in the morning. So yay God for my healing as well. And ran into another streamer here with LTN who also had dental work done a couple of weeks ago. So apparently there's several of us, God. We're thankful for that. The skill of the dentist to do the work, our bodies to recover. And so we just ask for continued blessing upon us as we heal and for the little joys that we get as we are able to return to eating food. We also give you praise for anyone else in the chat, their circumstance. There's others we've been praying for jobs who've gotten them. We continue to praise you and thank you for that. If there's others who are looking for jobs and uncertainty of finances, God, we just pray for your blessing upon them. Pour that out, we pray in Jesus' name. Amen. Sam says, also, I'm going to be helping an old age home as well. Decided at first because helping them makes you feel good. It does. That's awesome, Samarella. I think I finally got the approval for it too, so I'm getting $60 weekly payment for it as well. Yay, God! Even though I'm going to be 5 hours back and forth traveling, I feel blessed and happy to do it. Yes. Even if, sometimes you have to do an inconvenient thing to be able to add it. That's awesome. Finally get to eat solid food. You're a big boy. Lucis. I see what you did there. Samuel, I feel happy about both because, that's awesome, man. That's so awesome. I get to have some kind of hold on a job and also can help people in some way and probably make another family with them, hopefully. That is so good, Samarella. Outcast. Side note, my new job is at a senior daycare here in town. It's Monday through Friday. I go at 10 a.m. for orientation. Awesome. So you'll be working in a senior care center as well, working with and that is a place where people are often forgotten, isolated, and lonely. So anytime you can volunteer, anytime you can go in, I'm not saying you need a job there, But if your church can go in with any kind of thing to bring blessing to those people, to do visits, to all such a blessing to people isolated and lonely. Outcast. It's like the pull-ups commercial. I'm a big kid now. Yes, yes, yes. Outcast. Outside of my job, is that I like 15 minutes from. Oh, it's 15 minutes from your house. Oh, that's sweet. That's a sweet spot. All right. Thank you for the prayer time. Uh, the redeem is low, and the reason for that is so that you can feel at any point you can redeem it, and it's not inconvenient. It's part of us living and loving and being together as a community. So thank you for the prayer requests. Thank you for sharing your prayer requests. Thank you for sharing your joys. It seems like we don't get the joys as often as we get the ongoing requests. Listen, I'm a troll sometimes. I mean, well. Okay. So back to Joel. So the crops are being destroyed. The locusts have come in. An army is invading. It's all language of destruction. So whether it's a single event, whether it's multiple events, where it's conflating events, I don't care. The symbolism is destruction, total destruction, and there's a problem with spiritual condition. That part is all clear no matter how you take it. Samuel, I'll be volunteering at the senior home in the morning till noon. Then we'll be traveling back to a new place I'll be going to, and if I'm lucky enough to get the job at the restaurant, you'll be doing the graveyard shift. Oh, interesting. I don't know a lot of restaurants in my area that have a graveyard shift, but I would say if you're doing graveyard shift, having good routines, because I've done that before, having good routines and having good boundaries around your physical sleep and mental health are very important. Very important. So, yeah, find patterns and develop those that work for you. Sleep when you need to. Set boundaries on that. Don't get FOMO. Don't let your mental health and physical health run down from doing graveyard shift. You know. So, but excited that you might have that possibility. That's still awesome. Okay. The crops of the field have been destroyed. The ground is in mourning because the grain has perished. I love when you have the ground is upset about things, or the building is upset about things that don't happen there. It's a beautiful metaphor in my mind because it's just like weird to think that way. The fresh wine has dried up. The olive oil languishes. But be distressed, farmers. Wail, vineyard dressers, over the wheat and the barley, for the harvest of the fields has perished. The vine has dried up, the fig tree languishes, the pomegranates, dates, and apples as well. In fact, all the trees of the field have dried up. Indeed, the joy of people has dried up. Get dressed and lament, you priest. Wail, you who minister at the altar. Come spend the night in sackcloth, you servants of God, because no one brings grain offerings or drink offerings to the temple of God anymore. Announce a holy fast, proclaim a sacred assembly, gather the elders and all the inhabitants of the land to the temple of the Lord your God and cry out to the Lord. So now you're getting some instructions to some leaders of the people to go and do all these things. Samarella, 4 to 5 hours of sleep will be okay with me, I guess. Well, I'm just saying you need to just establish it, because some people have difficulty sleeping when it's daylight, when you got to work the graveyard. And so if you always sleep at the same time, like you would when it's dark, is part of the important thing. Instead of saying, well, one day I'll sleep from noon until 5, and then the next day you're like, well, I'm going to sleep, from 5 until midnight. Like, don't jump your schedule around is part of what I'm saying there. How awful that day will be, for the day of the Lord is near. It will come as destruction from the divine destroyer. Okay, what is the divine destroyer? What is the word here? There is a wordplay in Hebrew here with the word used for destruction, shod, and the term used for God, Shaddai, or Shaddai. The exact meaning of Shaddai in the Old Testament is somewhat uncertain, although the ancient versions of many modern English versions tend to translate it as Almighty, and the Latin omnipotence. Here it might be rendered destroyer, with the thought being that the destruction will come from the divine destroyer. Okay. So it could be El Shaddai, or destruction of Shaddai. So that's where they went with divine destroyer. Okay, I got you. Tracking. Yeah, you'll be volunteering in the senior home morning till noon. Yep, and then you got 4 to 5 hours of sleep. For now, I'm taking this as a new start for me. I love that. I love that approach. Like keep my past life in the past and have more like a new life. Totally makes. I'll give you an example of how I try to keep some past in my past. Now I'm wearing a T-shirt today. I've only recently started wearing swag for different orgs that I'm with. So this is DC4C swag, and you can see my logo with DC4C, which is Digital Creators for Christ. So I'm going to be wearing that swag at the con today, just to bring awareness to people. So I wear T-shirts for swag. I don't generally otherwise wear T-shirts anymore. I used to wear T-shirts a lot, but I also wear a lot of polo shirts. So if you don't know what a polo, it's got the 3-4 buttons right here and the collar, and it pulls over. They're not super professional, but they're baggy and they're comfortable. And so when I was 50 pounds heavier, that is what most of my shirts were. Was those. I was trying to be professional on a level. I had a collar, so it wasn't a T-shirt, so that people could recognize me that way. I do not own a polo anymore. I don't own one. I have collar shirts, which I wear primarily, and then I have some T-shirts. So that brings me back to the mindset that I was when I was 50 pounds heavier and all of that. I don't want to return to it, so I don't want to own one of those. So I totally get that from this point forward, this is a significant thing and how I've changed, and I want to mark this occasion and remember it, and that's part of how I do that. So, Sam, I'm not sure if I'll be able to forget things, but I'm going to try my best to concentrate. Yeah, and there's a difference between remembering and dwelling on things. Like, I need to be reminded every so often of, I used to eat and clean everyone else's plate and eat until I could not eat anymore, and that's not a healthy thing to do. And I used to, when I felt sad or depressed or had anxiety, eat. Okay, eating is not a coping mechanism, but it was a way to cope with things. I wasn't doing things healthy, and so so there's the reminder. I don't want to go back to it. I want to remember, so that I don't go back. So, who cares how much you weigh though? I mean, it's not about looks. It's about how you're as a person. Right? Oh yeah. And I'm not saying 50 pounds because of how I looked. It was why I was overweight, and it was what I was doing to my health. So that's the reference there, and I'm only saying is like the mindset of that is what I'm talking about, the reasons for it and all that. So I'm not trying to brag to say 50 pounds. It's more a matter of saying it was significant. That was my point of saying I've made a significant life change. I don't want to return to what I was before. Yeah, totally. It was for health reasons. It wasn't for aesthetic reasons. I mean, come on, look at this face. Like I'm not, trying to think that if I change my looks or if I lose weight, I'm gonna suddenly be. I'm not gonna go to the gym and get a 6-pack ab because then everybody will be fawning over me. That's not right. I'm specifically health reasons, and the root causes, trying to deal with the root causes of reasons why I had weight issues. Lady Palace, hey. We were just celebrating other people who have new jobs, so we're hope all is well, moving towards that. Yes, beard brother. Well, the beard is because I had dental work and I was not shaving, and so I probably will have the beard for the month, and then it'll probably be gone. I don't know how long I'll take it. I usually do November, and that's about it. We're doing a lot of chatting today, and I'm all good with that. I am all good with that. This is good. I'll be the opposite because I used to skip food because how I thought the person I am and how I was told and looked, but later I realized the hard way that my fault is not listening to the negative, but allowing it to get to me and doing this. I didn't want to. Yes, yep, totally tracking with you. Yes, and food is one of those things that we can take other places in our lives and then mistreat food, either with neglecting to care for ourselves by eating food or neglecting to care for ourselves by overeating food. And so, yeah, I'm not assuming everyone does the same thing. And some people don't have a problem with food, and some people are overweight not because of a relationship with food, but because of the quality of food they have access to. So I know there's lots of reasons. So let me put it this way. I'm not judging anybody that's overweight and saying, hey, you need to lose weight. If I have a concern that I'm seeing health issues arising from your weight, and I know you personally, I might privately have a conversation with you and ask you, how's your health doing? How's your health doing? I'm concerned about your health. I'm not going to talk about I'm concerned about your weight. And it'll be on both ends here, on the low side or the high side, and say, I'm concerned about you. I'm seeing some things happen that look like your health isn't really good. Are you taking care of yourself? What are you doing to take care of yourself? I would, if we go back to what I was talking about earlier with mental health, I notice something and then I invite myself into a conversation. And then I want to challenge the person. So I think you might need to check with your doctor. I think you might need to do whatever. I think I will challenge you to investigate and explore you getting some help if there's a need for help. If we have the conversation, you say, oh, I was just sick and I haven't been feeling good, or hey, this just happened to me. My grandmother died and I'm dealing with the anxiety and the emotion of all that. I go, great. I'm glad you shared that. I can walk that journey with you. So yeah, notice, invite. So this is the be nice that post in my chat. You notice what's good about someone, and you notice when that changes. You invite yourself into a conversation. You challenge them to get healthier, and this can be mental health as well as physical health. This is why I love the be nice. Like, it could be anything going on in your life. I can challenge and invite myself into a conversation about, and then I empower you to be able to go and do the things. I walk alongside you. I help point you to someone who can do that. So. Lady Palace, yeah, thank you for the yummy mint cookies. There you go. Outcast, gotta leave the beard, brother. Look good on you. Oh, thank you. Well, I'm still in the phase of. Well, I'll show you the hair in a minute. Like, my hair is all dark, and I got a few gray white spots there. But the beard has been going that way for some time. The mustache is still in the brown phase, but the rest of it is mostly gray, going to white, and it's just like, would you make up your mind and be one color? Then I would grow it, perhaps, Bob, my wife jokes that she will leave me if I shave my beard. And you know what? And I know that circumstance. My wife met me. I had a goatee. I had long hair. Yes, revealing revelations in the stream. And I like the goatee. I love the goatee. I had it often, and then I got a big giant white spot. I didn't have it all the time. Like, I've never had a beard or a goatee year round. Like 4 months. I'll just probably be more realistic. 4 months is probably the longest I would keep it, and then I would shave it. I do usually, would grow it in November, have it in December, go January, February, and maybe shave it. That would be the length of time that I would do that. And then maybe I'd grow it again in the summer for a month, and then 2, and then shave it off. But I started getting a white spot, and then it looked like there was holes in my beard if I had a beard or had the goatee. So then I started growing the beard because it looked better. You can say, "Oh, there's just one spot." Now it's just like it just looks janky. That's my thought. It's my own vanity. I think it looks janky, but my wife doesn't like the beard. She's not good. Oh, I didn't see the redeem. Let me get the redeem in there. Start the timer. 5-minute timer. No hair. I mean, no hat. No hat. There we go. Yep, Lady Palace Athena. Can I call you Athena? I know how to call you. Yes, I don't know how to call you. Yeah, I usually go with the whole name. Some people I go with the whole name. So I think sometimes I do go Lady Palace. He does have good hair though. I do. It's like a forever hug for your chin. There you go. Altus Rebry, finally you are live after I'm done with daving. Or davening. What is davening? What are you up to, Altus? Well, for where I am, it is 7:30 in the morning. This is my regular time in my time zone, which would be 9:30. So I think it's more your schedule. I sure need to lose weight. LOL. Yeah. Well, and like I said, there might be reasons why people do. I'm not going to get on anybody about that. I know the circumstance, but if I think it's a health issue, and I'm seeing things, and I know you personally, I might have a conversation. Aside from that, I'm not going around going, "Hey, you need to lose weight," and no. If you need to lose weight, you know it. I don't need to tell you. But if I can show genuine concern because I see some health things, maybe that helps you. Sam, I didn't skip food because I'm overweight, but more like I'm underweight. Oh, yeah, I understood. If I misrepresented the thought, no. I know people on that end that they, like, dealing with self-esteem issues and people's views of you causes you to not eat, dealing with other stuff. And yeah, it's not an overweight issue. It is a fear and or dealing with image disorders is I think what they're categorized as, image disorders, which is mental health. Bob, my beard is going great. I can't wait for my. Oh, I've got a friend with the wizard beard. He is White Beard Punk Monk is a buddy of mine. White Beard Punk Monk. He's got the beard down to here. It's all good and gray. Yeah, it is wizard worthy. You gotta grow out the beard like a pro. Hasset. I'm there's no way I'm ever gonna get that long. I'm just too impatient with the beard. Too impatient. Gotta stick with it. Stick with the way it is, man. Ain't nothing wrong with little mix. I know, but it's like for instance, like while I'm looking at it, like I see the dark here and I see a little dark rim right here. It just looks like it's yeah. I appreciate you all. Salt and Pepper Beard Brothers. Okay, well, I gotta got my miles on the recumbent bike. I'll be listening till I get back. Thanks, Bob. Oh, by the way, I do a lot of biking too. We should chat about that sometime. Yes, wife does not like the beard. No, she does not. She doesn't want to kiss me when I have a beard. You can't grow a beard, Sam, so nothing about it. Hey, there you go. I am way behind on chat. I just got to the 5 minutes starting. What I don't even recognize you without a hat. Yeah, I have that all the time. I have people do not it's like, so people always, joke around about how stupid Clark Kent was with like glasses can't really disguise you. Well, apparently hat and glasses can. Hat and glasses can. And I've done that in many communities I've lived. When there's no hat and people only see me with a hat, they don't recognize me. When there are people who only see me on Sunday morning and don't see me with a hat, and then they see me with a hat, they don't recognize me. So I guess the hat is a better disguise. Yeah, eating disorder. Yeah, absolutely. For me, it's fear of dealing with people over a few things. Oh, yep, Sam. You don't have to. I appreciate you sharing. Yeah, and I wasn't trying to say there was only one monolithic read. I don't know why I like monolithic. a monolithic reason for things. There's a whole spectrum of reasons why people fall into issues with food. So, Outcast, I find another gray hair in my beard. Last night, like my seventh or eighth one, LOL, my chin goatee game is on point, but the rest of my beard is questionable. Trying to do beard treatments for the small bald pinch patches. Yeah, and if maybe I was a timer's up, a beard or a goatee all the time instead of seasonally, I might have gone the route of doing some whatever beard just for men beard or whatever they have, but it was more a matter of yeah, I tried to grow it in 1 year after probably not having a goatee for a couple of years, and it was boy, I looked like I had a shaving accident all over with patches in it, and I was like, all right, I'm not wearing that. All right, let's see if we can get some Joel done. We're down to a half an hour left of the stream. I am here. If you did not know, I am here at Nerd Culture Ministry Summit with people IRL and sessions going on. I will share in the Discord again, but it will be live streamed on Love Thy Nerds channel. So Love Thy Nerds channel, you'll be able to go over and watch the main sessions, the speakers who were there. When it goes live, I'll post in my Discord so you can get the link. Or you can go look in the Discord and you'll have the link already from the past ones, but it'll be there at that time. So, yeah, 6:30 where you are. You got to get ready for the day. All right. Well, then you are Pacific time, or you're further south or north. But yes, Pacific. Outcast. I gotta head out of here, brother. Much love. Thank you all. And if you lurk, and those who've been lurking, love the lurkers. Appreciate it. Thanks for the convo today. Thanks for the time in the Bible. Thanks for the prayers. Time that was great. We should have Phil up chat with words because we might have a few more seconds of no cat. Yeah, it's too late now. Yes, dang it. Yes, you could have thought that through. Oh no, now there's a plan for next time. Okay, we got 5 minutes before the ad break. It's not giving me any snoozing options today for some reason. We'll see how far we get. How awful that day will be for the Lord. The day of the Lord is near. Now, the day of the Lord is a day of judgment. Now, there is a day of the Lord judgment for a single nation. There is a day of the Lord judgment for all nations. And there is a final end day of the Lord for all. So, when it says the day of the Lord, it might be a imminent in the lifetime of the people who are hearing this destruction that is coming. And the day of the Lord is the day of judgment. It is a day of destruction that's coming. Or it could be off in the future. Okay, so we have the Divine Destroyer. Our food has been cut off right before our eyes. There is no longer any joy or gladness in the temple of our God. The grains of seed have shriveled beneath the shovel. Storehouses have been decimated. The granary... I want to do like the announcer for a fight. Storehouses have been decimated. The granaries have been torn down because the grain has dried up. Listen to the cattle groan. The herds of livestock wander around in confusion because they have no pasture. Even the flocks of sheep are suffering. To you, O Lord, I call out for help, for fire has burned up the pastures of the wilderness. Flames have razed all the trees in the fields. Even the wild animals cry out to you, for the riverbeds have dried up. Fire has destroyed all the pastures of wilderness. I'm realizing I should probably be quiet. The people next door might still be sleeping. I go to announcer voice and my volume goes... Yes, Howard Cosell voice. There we go. I was actually thinking the guy who does "Let's Get Ready to Rumble." You should become a cantor. Oh, you know what? I think being a cantor would be fun. I think with some little training, I would have fun being a cantor. Blow the trumpet in Zion, sound the alarm signal on my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land shake with fear, for the day of the Lord is about to come. Indeed, it is near. It will be a day of dreadful darkness, a day of foreboding storm clouds like blackness spread over the mountain. It is huge and power. It is a huge and powerful army. There has never been anything like it before, ever before, and there will never be anything like it for many generations to come. Okay, so this is playing out that it is an imminent thing, and it won't be repeated for generation. It is a once in a generation kind of thing, and so nobody will remember it, and by the time you forget it and your grandkids forget it, that's what it's going to be like. The worst thing that anybody has ever experienced that's alive. You need to rock back and forth more while talking it. Yeah, I will. I know what you're talking about, Altus. I've never thought of trying to do that. Bob. Okay, got my 3 miles in first session. Oh, awesome. By the way, Bob, I started this a few years ago. Right there, you can see it says I'm riding to fight kids cancer. It is the Great Cycle Challenge. Now, there's plenty of other places you can go do this. I'm just talking about what I did. And so every September, I ride for kids cancer. And last year, I rode 750 miles on my bike in September. This year, my goal was 500. Those who remember, I had a fall, and I was not able to ride my bike for about a week, and I just said, no, I'm not going to harm myself. I'm going to care for myself. I just won't meet the goal for this year. So yeah, I love riding, and I have an indoor bike as well as an outdoor bike. All right, we got about 20 seconds before the ads come in. You just have a recumbent bike now? Yeah. I've tried the recumbent. It's not for me. Not for me. But I understand the benefits that some people find from it. So cool. All right, we're going to ads, so I don't have fish. So I'll give you my dancing feet. Have lower back issues, so normal bike, yes.
Flat cat pastor dashing through pages. Chronicles, Gospels, prophets, sages. Leviticus, laws, to pause, find phrases. Turning them corners of spiritual mazes. Genesis to Revelation, so divine. Flip them scripts, endless grace.
There we go.
He's got that flat cap dapper look, making waves online, spreading the word on Twitch.
Oh, I love this song.
Pastor with a cheerful heart, no lie.
So I meant to do this one, not the other one. I pushed the wrong button.
To the sky. He'll be right back. Yes, he'll be right back. He'll be back in 2 or 3. Flat cat dapper. Flat cat dapper. We'll be right back. Right back after this break. No mistake. Joy they made.
But I'll come up with
I'll be right back. Yeah. We'll be right back in 2 or 3.
And then I've got more apps, and I'll have to come up with different entries. Those shoes are so awesome. I love them. I don't get these for those awesome.
Right back after this break.
All those shoes are
No
just
mistake.
about dead. Those shoes are just
Joy they make.
those are the shoes I have with me.
I'll be right back. Yes.
Those are the shoes I'm
I'll
currently
be
wearing.
right back in 2 or 3.
Okay, Cockroach! For the sub! Thank you, okay, Cockroach, for the sub. Appreciate it, brother. Alright, looks like we are done with the ad, so let's get back over here. Alright, and thank you for the songs. Those were all done by Trigger Boss 007. So he made those all for me. I love them. They're fun. Okay, let's see how far we've got in Joel, and if we could finish this in 20 minutes, that'd be awesome. But I don't know if it's gonna happen. Let's see what happens. Okay, like fire, they devour everything in their path. A flame blazes behind them. The land looks like the Garden of Eden before them, but behind them there is only a desolate wilderness, for nothing escapes them. Again, we're just doing total destruction language. How do you talk about total destruction? You talk about what is there as being better than it actually. It's like the Garden of Eden. Was it really like the Garden of Eden? No, but I want to talk about it being the most plush thing you've ever thought about. So it's in more contrast to how bad it becomes. Okay. And nothing escapes. They look like horses. They charge ahead like war horses. They sound like trumpets rumbling over the mountain tops, like the crackling of a blazing fire consuming stubble, like the noise of an almighty army being drawn up for battle. People writhe in fear when they see them. All their faces turn pale with fright. They charge like warriors. They scale walls like soldiers. Each one proceeds on his course. They do not alter their paths. They do not jostle one another. Each of them marches straight ahead. They burst through the city defenses and do not break ranks. They rush into the city. They scale its walls. They climb up into the houses. They go in through the windows like a thief. The earth quakes before them. The sky reverberates. I do not. Oh, reverberates. I'm like, what is that word? Reverberate. Had to get the right syllabification. The sun and the moon grow dark. The stars refuse to shine. The voice of the Lord thunders as he leads his army. Indeed, his warriors are innumerable. Surely his command is carried out. Yes, the day of the Lord is awesome and very terrifying. Who can survive it? Nobody. Nobody can. All right. See what we got in chat. Okay, Kyra. Good morning. It's a beautiful day the Lord has given us. It totally is, friend. Totally agree. And then cookies being passed. Okay. So I didn't miss anything much. Just a little bit of welcome and hospitality. Love it. Okay. Yet even now, the Lord says, return to me with all your heart, with fasting, with weeping, with mourning. Okay, so those are three actions that show you're returning with your heart. You fast not as a ritual, but as a I can't eat because the circumstance is so bad, and I am going to deny myself instead of do the things I can do. Weeping because I am filled with sorrow, and mourning, that is my emotional state. Tear your heart, not your garment. So yes, the outward expression of putting on sackcloth and ashes and fasting is an outward expression to show what's happening inward me. You tear your garment to show that you are distressed over something that happened. So people are tearing their garments, but their hearts are not actually moved with compassion. They're not actually moved with compassion. Because I don't care about the outward symbols of what you are doing. Your hearts are not grieving for someone. Your hearts are not grieving over the circumstance. Rend your heart. Your heart needs to be torn up over this, and it's not. Return to the Lord your God, for he is merciful and compassionate, slow to anger and abounding in loyal love, often relenting from calamitous punishment. So, the point of punishment being pronounced is for you to return. The point of punishment being pronounced is not for God to carry out punishment. The pronouncement of punishment is to be a warning. Think about this as a parent. Now, this is not a practice I like, but I think symbolically it matches in a way that you'll understand. So, when you have kids, and you'll probably see this in public if you don't have kids, when a kid is acting up and mom or dad goes, 1, 2, 3, the kid knows punishment might be coming. Now, depending upon the parent, that might be a real threat. It might be a false threat, okay? But the counting thing is the imminent warning that you need to straighten up and act right. Whether the parent actually enforces it or doesn't enforce it, I never liked that approach anyway, by the way, because now I've just given my kid a time limit to continue to act inappropriately instead of going to them and saying, you need to knock it off now. Not in 5 minutes, not till I count to 10. No, not because I don't have to do it until you get to 9. Then I can do it. And I can do all kinds of more stuff while I'm waiting for you because you're already counting. You can't count again. So there's a whole bunch of reasons I don't like the counting, but I think the symbolism of like the warning is coming. Your heart needs to change. When your heart changes, your behavior changes. Don't need the outward. I need the inward. Hope that makes sense. So I love this that happened. So what we have is a living out of this in Jonah. We have this in Joel of the declaration. We have this in the other prophets of who knows, God might relent. Who knows, perhaps he will be compassionate and grant us reprieve. And leave blessing in his wake. Oh, that's just an awesome image. Leave blessing in his wake. Leave a blessing behind him. Yeah, in the wake of. Like, I go through and everybody's blessed behind me. A meal offering, a drink offering for you to offer to the Lord our God. So God is going to instead relent because we turn back to him. And we will have abundance to be able to give to God. Were you a mischievous kiddo? Yes, I was, but my mom never counted. Other people did that I've seen. So, no, it was an immediate response of, yeah, you done messed up at Aaron. Blow the trumpet in Zion. So again, we have the image of blowing the trumpet. It is a declaration to get people's attention. Announce a holy fast. Proclaim a sacred assembly. Gather the people. Sanctify an assembly. Gather the elders. Gather the children and the nursing infants. Let the bridegroom come from his bedroom and the bride from her private quarters. Okay. Even the brides and grooms need to respond to this. They are usually okay, so in biblical understanding, when you got married, the bride and the groom specifically, is exempt, and the bride, from social obligations for 1 year. The groom could not go off to war for 1 year. You needed to build that relationship together, firmly establish it. You were not going to be pulled into other things. Your focus was on your spouse. That was what you were to do. So, social obligations, you're not. This is so important that standard of no social obligations. You have this obligation to repent and turn to God. You have that obligation. You can't escape that. Oh, that's a fun emote. That's a fun emote. Let the priest, those who serve the Lord, weep from the vestibule all the way back to the altar. Let them say, have pity, O Lord, on the people. Please do not turn over your inheritance to be mocked. I don't know how often you're supposed to rock back and forth. Also saying I need to do that. To become a proverb among the nations. Maybe I need to go sorry. Why should it be said among the peoples, where is their God? There we go. Little canting going on. Then the Lord became zealous for his land. He had compassionate on his people. The Lord responded to his people. Look, I am about to restore your grain as well as fresh wine and olive oil. You will be fully satisfied. You will never again be the object of my mockery among the nations. So it appears that there was the pronouncement, there was the warning, there were the things happening, and there is a return now. So this is all written after the fact then. I will remove from the one from the north far away from you. I will drive him out to a dry and desolate place. From in front will be driven eastward into the Dead Sea, and from the back westward into the Mediterranean Sea. His stench will rise up as a foul smell. Indeed, the Lord has accomplished great things. Do not fear, my land. Rejoice and be glad, because the Lord has accomplished these things. So rather than the people, the land is being referenced. God's blessing is going to return to the land. The blessing on the land was removed because of the people. The land suffered because of the people. Now the don't fear land, the blessing will return to you. I just love that. I just love how it does that. Do not fear, wild animals, For the pasture of the wilderness are again green grass. Indeed, the trees bear their fruit. The fig tree and the vine yield to the fullest. Citizens of Zion, rejoice. Be glad because of what the Lord your God has done, for he has given to you the early rains as vindication. He has sent to you the rains both in the early and the late rains as formerly. The threshing floor are full of grain. The vats overflow with fresh wine and olive oil. I will make up for the years that the Abba locust consumed your crops, the yellowed locust and the hazel locust and the gazamine locust, my great army that I sent against you. So this could be, again, locust literally, or an invading army of destruction, metaphorically locust, but actually a physical army. It does not matter. Destruction happened, and now what was taken away is going to be made up for. This is a favorite verse of many people that I know. When you're talking about your family, and there's a lot of, you went through a horrible trial and you're on the other side. You're a church and you struggled through something. Like, for instance, we could, as a church body whole, look up for the years that the locust ate up as being the years of COVID. And now God is beginning, and I see this in digital spaces, pour out blessing upon blessing in digital spaces, in digital relationships, of growing those things, of taking the word of God into the realm of the digital. By the way, if you didn't see yesterday's speaker on AI, I'm going to post a link at some point. It's just so good. Talking about the realm and where people dwell is the realm, and there's certain rules of the realm, and it was so good. It was so good. Okay. And you need to redeem the realm, because every place that there is a realm is a creation of God. All right, you will have plenty to eat, and your hunger will be fully satisfied. You will praise the name of the Lord your God, you who has acted wondrously in your behalf. My people will never again be put to shame. You will be convinced that I am in the midst of Israel. I am the Lord your God. There is no other. My people will never again be put to shame. Okay, now here we see this says verse 3:1. There's a discrepancy in the Hebrew versions and the English versions of the numbering. That's all that means there. After all this, I will pour out my spirit on all kinds of people. Okay, what is this? On all flesh. Okay, so this would be a reference to all flesh. Could mean the entire globe, not just his own people, but the Gentiles as well. Could be included in here. Your sons. So this is the part that Peter is quoting from. After this, I will pour out my spirit on all people. Your sons and daughters will prophesy. Your elderly will have prophetic dreams. Your young men will see visions. Even on male and female servants, I will pour out my spirit in those days. Does not matter social class. It does not matter young or old. It does not matter gender. It does not matter ethnicity. It's going on everywhere. The Spirit of God is going to be poured out. This is why Peter picks this up and talks about it the day of Pentecost. It is poured out on the Jews first, then with Cornelius on the Greeks. It's poured out on them, and they have God dwelling in and with them. I will produce portents both in the sky and on earth, blood, fire, and columns of smoke. So you have this accompanied by fire, tongues of fire, blood in the sky. I think there's another reference here too. I'll just keep going with that in the sky. And then fire and smoke, columns of that are the image of the presence of God that went before the people. So that's Old Testament, going through the Exodus, all of those kinds of things. The sunlight will be turned to darkness. The moon will be the color of blood before the day the Lord comes, the great and terrible tribulation. So he does quote this too. So how is the great and terrible tribulation, the darkness and the moon turning to blood, happening in the book of Acts, and Peter referencing that? And the day of the Lord, I happen to think this is looking at the cross. I happen to think that that's how this is fulfilled, because there is the sun being blotted out there, darkness happening, over the land. So perhaps the moon, and it's not specifically mentioned that way, but perhaps the moon also was turned to blood. And the other thing is, if you have a vimma, do you need everything? Is it a checklist? I don't believe it's a checklist. It's a description of the type of thing that's going to happen. And the tongues of fire and the description of that fits all of this that happened. It will so happen that everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be delivered from the Mount Zion and in Jerusalem. They will be those who survive, just as the Lord has promised. The remnant will be those whom the Lord will call. So there's where we have all of those on the day of Pentecost, the remnant who will be there. But that is the future. This had to have an immediate thing. So Joel is talking about a remnant will return from the armies that destroyed them, all of that stuff. Let me see, how long is 3? We might just stop there unless this is short. I felt like it was short. Ooh, it's 21 verses. Let's go for it. For look, in those days and at that time, I will return the exiles to Judah and Jerusalem. So they've gradually been going to exile and taken away. The northern kingdom, I believe, is totally gone. Then I will gather all nations. I will bring them down from the land of Jehoshaphat. I will enter into judgment against them there concerning my people Israel, who are my inheritance. Go for it, yes. Whom they scattered among the nations. They partitioned my land. They cast lots for my people. They traded a boy for a prostitute. They sold a little girl for wine so they could drink. Why are they doing these things to me, Tyre and Sidon? Why are you trying to get even with me, land of Philistia? If you are, I will very quickly repay you for what you have done. Okay, so you've got those within the land mentioned here. We know Assyria took some. We know Babylon took some. We know that Egypt took some. So they are scattered, and once you take them, they're sold off even further. So that's describing that language. For you took my silver and my gold and brought my precious valuables to your own palaces. You sold Judeans and Jerusalemites to the Greeks, removing them far from their own country. Look, I am rousing them from the place to which you sold them. I will repay you for what you have done. I will sell your sons and daughters to the people of Judah. They will sell them to the Sabeans, a nation far away. Indeed, the Lord has spoken. Okay, Sabeans were Arabian merchants who were influential long ago, ancient caravan routes that traveled through Arabia. Proclaim this among the nations. Prepare for a holy war. Call out the warriors. Let all these fighting men approach and attack. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I too am a warrior. Lend your aid and come, all you surrounding nations, and gather yourself to this place. Bring down, O Lord, your warriors. Okay, so this is interesting. Prepare for war. How do they prepare for war? They destroy the weapons of war. This is so weird. Proclaim to all the nations to prepare for war, and then beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Sorry, it's a reversal. My brain was reading this the other way around. It's taking all of your weapons for peacetime and turning them into weapons of war. I was reading that backwards. My brain is used to the other way around of the beat your swords into plowshares. I was reading it the other way. Oh my goodness. I totally read that wrong. I was like, I read it, but then my brain was converting it the other way. I missed that. Okay, so it's prepare for war. It is all prepare for war language. I don't know why I was reading it the other way. And then Jehoshaphat is one of the kings. And there's a valley reference him. So let the nations be roused and let them go up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for they will sit in judgment, and all the surrounding nations rouse forth with the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come stomp the grapes, for the winepress is full, the vats overflowing. Indeed, their evil is great. Great crowds are in the valley of decision, For the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. The sun and the moon are darkened. The stars withhold their brightness. The Lord roars from Zion, from Jerusalem. His voice bellows out, the heavens and the earth shake. But the Lord is a refuge for his people. He is a stronghold for his citizens of Israel. Black belt. I'm getting it. I'm just like, yes. The dyslexic, yeah. It's like I read it clearly, but my brain converted it like to the thing I expected. This is one of the reasons why I think when you get familiar with the Bible, you read it in another translation, because the familiar thing sometimes is not what it appears to be. And when you read a new translation, your ears go, wait, that's not what I'm expecting. And switch. Here, I read what I was expecting, and it was wrong. It was wrong. You will be convinced that I, the Lord, am your God, dwelling on Zion, my holy mountain. Jerusalem will be holy. Conquering armies will no longer pass through it. On the day the mountain will drip with sweet wine, and the hills will flow with milk. And milk would be a reference to abundance, because your animals have to have abundance in order to have milk. Milk and honey is a reference for abundance. So you can just have milk there. Let me see what they say. The language is hyperbolic, yes. All the dry stream beds will flow with water. Remember, they were buying water. Now there is so much water. A spring will flow out of the temple of the Lord, watering the valley of acacia trees. Egypt will be desolate, and Edom will be a desolate wilderness, because of the violence they did to the people of Judah, in whose land they shed innocent blood. But Judah will reside securely forever, and Jerusalem will be secure for one generation to the next. I will avenge their blood that I had not previously acquitted. It is the Lord who dwells in Zion. So, there is a pronouncement in Joel that stuff has happened. There is here is what has happened and is happening, and there is the here is the future that we have to look forward to. So, we made it. We made it through Joel. Got to run. Take care of her. Thanks, Bob. We're just wrapping it up here now. Anyway, we finished Joel. We made it. So, no stream tomorrow. Should be streaming on Monday, and I'll update you on next week on Monday of what it looks like. But we will be either starting Hebrews or Ezekiel, and we will be in Hebrews and Ezekiel for a while. That's where we'll be next week. I'm at another conference next week with a bunch of church planters, so I'm really hoping IRL I get to hang out with Rob. I have not seen him or talked to him in a while. There's a possibility that Rob will be there. If not, there are other people I know. Eric will be there likely, and Patrick will be there, and hopefully some others. So, super excited about that. But we got some good reading done today. Great conversation. Good time of prayer. And now I'm going to go and hang out with some IRL people. Some who are here in the chat, some who weren't able to make it. I will post we will have worship. Worship isn't broadcast live on LTN, but when it goes live, I'll post. You can all hang out with me. What state? Oh, I will be in Chicago area next week. I'm in Colorado this week. I will be in the Chicago area next week. Yes, leaving so soon. I've been on for over 2 hours. What are you talking about soon, Altus? Yeah, so I'll post in the Discord. If you're in the Chicago area, want an IRL meetup, you'd love to. Would love to. All right, let me send you off with a blessing, and we'll find somebody to read. May God's seeking comfort find you. May his loving arms bind you. May his might protect you. May his wisdom direct you. May the joyous love of Jesus Christ be with you and all those you know, both now and forevermore. Amen. I'll let you know when I get to Georgia. Whenever I'm traveling, I do post. In my world, you just logged on because I just got here. Well, Paps, thank you. Enjoy the con. Yes, I am thoroughly enjoying the con. Let's find somebody to raid. Oh, you know what? I'm going to go there. Haven't rated him in a while. Let's go over there. Yeah, I'm going to go raid Jono. So, Jono's a great guy. Not sure what he's zombies, then update. Actually, you know what? I don't see him on stream. I just see his cam, so maybe he's on a break. So let's not do Jono. But I say Jono is a great guy. He does esports leagues and works at university level helping that. So that's pretty cool. Bearded Beowulf looks like just started. I'll go leave you with Bearded Beowulf. Let's go there. Great guy as well. So let's go raid. Thank you, everybody. Have a blessed day, everyone, and let's go bless others.
Dash the new pages.
Yes, the other
Chronicles,
BB.
Gospels,
The other
prophets,
BB.
sages, Leviticus laws to Paul's fine phrases. Turning them corners, no spiritual mazes. Genesis to Revelation, soap divine, flipped in scripts, endless grace you'll find. Psalm singing sweet, unbroken lines, hitting that rhythm, wordplay refined. Anybody in here blessed? I'm blessed. Anybody in here blessed? I'm blessed. Bible in 1 year, we don't rest. Anybody in here blessed? I'm blessed. Wake up early, the dawn's light shimmers. Spiritual breakfast, soul food dinners. Isaiah's vision, Ezekiel's figures. Walk through the fire, no one limbers. Kings and judges, prophets profound. Plow in the word, no mythical ground. Verse after verse, wisdom's bound. Heavenly soundtrack, soul's urban sound. Anybody in here blessed? I'm blessed. Anybody in here blessed? I'm blessed. Bible in 1 year, we don't rest. Anybody in here blessed? I'm blessed. No shortcuts, all divine routes. Listen to the whispers, no room for doubt. Parables drop stronger than gold faucets. Souls hydrated from divine prophets. Study the book, change perspectives, carefully crafted.